Welcome back to the Backroad Driver channel. Today we're going to open and apply the new GlassParency graphene coating. This is a step above ceramic glass coating.
So they say that this stuff is better than glass coating and it's going to last longer, and the big deal is a whole lot easier to install. It's going to be interesting to see just how easy it is to install compared to glass coating. So it looks like you get your actual product, generous bottle. It says it does 2 cars, I believe, a couple microfibers and an application towel. We've got a brand new set of STANCE SF10 bronze rims outside. We're going to go put this on. Let's go check it out.
These are custom stance wheels. They actually do the offset and they basically mill them to spec to fit on our car. These are going on a 2020 GT350. We've got an entire video. We'll put a card right up here and we'll put it at the end of the video and in the description showing you the process of putting these wheels on from the time you get them until the time they actually go on the car with tires on them, the proper process to do that, to not mess up your custom wheels and to not mess up your warranty. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and start prepping these wheels and applying GlassParency and seeing how much easier it is to put graphene on than it is to put on ceramic coating.
I'm applying some prep, basically alcohol. You want to get the rims perfectly clean because anything residue you leave on there, this stuff's not going to stick. If you don't do good prep, you're not going to get good results.
If your wheels are not brand new, you've got another step here. You're probably going to want to use some clay bar or some clay spray that'll actually pull contaminants out, because your brake pads are actually putting metal out when they wear and they're sticking into the clear coat on the wheel. Even if you've waxed it, it's impregnating into the surface of the clear coat. So you're going to want to clay that, and then you're going to use a light polish to get the surface as flat as possible and as smooth as possible. Don't put any more product on it. Use the prep spray right after. We get to skip all that. Now some people would go nuts and clay bar and polish brand new rims. We're going to drive this car a lot. We're just wanting them to be a little easier to clean, and we want them to shine a little bit more. So we're not going to go to that extra step. But if you do have wheels that have already been mounted up and driven with, then you're going to want to go a couple extra steps to get that prep to be awesome, because you don't want to put this over a dirty surface, because you're basically sealing all those contaminants in, and it will be slick, but it's not going to look as good and it's not going to stay on and last as long, because you've actually got iron and other elements underneath the graphene at that point.
You want to put a little bit of product on, be liberal with it.
And that's the actual graphene.
You want to put the cap on in between. You're going to want to coat everything on big open panels like in the barrel. It's easier to do a crosshatch pattern. On the face, you really are just trying to make sure you get it everywhere. That's the big key. You want to get in all the crooks and crannies really well, or you're not going to be protected, and the crooks and crannies are what's hard to wash when you're washing wheels. So the better you apply this, the better results you're going to have. The directions say to go in a crosshatch pattern, so to go one direction basically and then go the other. I reapply when I kind of feel like I'm not getting enough product on there at a time. More is better, I guess, is the best way to think about it on these.
After he applies, we're going to let it dry for about 2 more minutes, and then we take a microfiber rag and buff it off of there, wait about a minute, and then we apply another coat, and then we'll get into the booster. We are also doing the inner barrel of the wheel, because obviously you get a ton of brake dust in here, and that's because of these little openings. It's really hard to get your hand through and clean the barrel of the wheel. Graphene is not brand new. It's actually a technology that's been worked on for a long time, but all the big marketing dollars have been thrown at ceramic coating, Ceramic Pro being the biggest in the industry. You can't buy Ceramic Pro and put it on your vehicle or put it on your wheels. You can do all the things we're doing to these wheels to the paint on your car. Even if you've got a wrap finish that's matte or satin, you can still use the graphene coating. After your graphene dries, you want to buff that off with a clean microfiber rag. You can use the same microfiber rag on every rim, but you don't want to use this rag to apply or take off the boost. You don't want to mix them. So we're just going to rub this down. I'll probably go over it once and then come back and try to catch anything else, but there's all kinds of little cracks and crevices you got to get down in. And we applied with a Q-tip down in this hole. So I'm going to fish down in there with the Q-tip in. I'm going to shove it down in that hole, try to get it out really good. Obviously helps to bring a light out. If you got it, put that on the face of the wheel. It doesn't matter if it's fluorescent or LED. It just helps the application because it throws light in a lot of places that you're not going to get it naturally from the sun. Sam, you put ceramic coating on a set of black wheels. What's the difference?
This stuff seems to be a whole lot easier to put on. It doesn't get tacky like a glass coating gets tacky, so it starts to get harder to put on as you go. You're worried that it's going to get too tacky and not come off, or you're going to have a lot of high spots. Seems to me like this stuff goes on smoother. It's easier to get in the little spots, but the big thing is you don't have to worry about leaving it on there too long and having high spots and making a wheel look bad. This seems to be very user friendly and something that just about anybody could do, I would say.
Would you say it's like putting a synthetic sealant on, but just doing a little better job at it?
Yeah. Exactly.
There's no buildup you're worried about, or layer thickness or anything.
Exactly. You're putting it on. We're doing 2 coats, so we definitely get it everywhere. But this is, it doesn't have that pucker factor that quartz coatings have had. A stigma of being very hard to put on.
The Boost product goes on as soon as this has been dry. So you actually just spray this on just like you would like any silicone that you spray on your car. It's just it helps accelerate the dry on the GlassParency. Then you take an applicator and you actually do the same process as you did on the graphene coating, and you cross hatch it. Buff the Boost off with another microfiber rag. You don't want to use the same microfiber rag for all these products. You want to keep them separate. So they come with 2 in a kit, and most kits you buy are going to be about the same, but you may want about 6 rags just to keep it simple. If you found this video on search or on browse, just flipping through YouTube, I don't want you to think this is what we do on this channel. We do wash our cars, but we do ridiculous stuff with Fords. We're gonna add other cars in the future, but we do burnouts, we race, donuts. We do the most extreme mods we can do. We don't have catalytic converters on any of our cars. We're not trying to save the planet, we're trying to save the manuals. We have a manual GT350. So if that's something you're into, check out some of our other videos. We're finishing up. We're under some really good light now. This takes about 2.5 hours for 2 guys. So plan on 5 hours if you're doing this by yourself. And pro tip, take your wheels and tires off your car if you're gonna do them, and do like the whole clay bar and polish and all that stuff. I would not dare try to do this in the garage down low, squatting over all day. So
you're not gonna be able to get up in here the way you ought to.
In the tub,
you know,
no way.
This is, doing it on a table is the only way to do it.
This is way faster than doing ceramic coating if you're doing it yourself, but it's still gonna take you about 5 hours. You can use a lot of different products, a lot of different brands, a lot of different types of products. You can ceramic coat or glass coat or however you wanna call it. Just from how the install went on this, I think it's gonna be awesome. And we've got how long of a protection on here?
Lifetime, supposedly, 2 coats.
We've got the wheels on. They look amazing. The graphene is so slick that they're having to take the wheels back in, take them off the car, rub meth, not meth that you take and dye. They're gonna have to rub where we put the graphene on to try to get the tire weights to stick, because they will not stick. You can pull them off with your hand. They're brand new tire weights on brand new wheels, and they just pull right off. Let's take a look at the wheels now. Hope you liked the video about graphene. That would go for any coating that you could put on rims. It's a good idea. It makes everything stick to it less. We're gonna do a follow-up video within about a month and show you kind of what we found out about how they clean and how easy that is. They look awesome on the car. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe. What do they need to do to the bell?
Hit that bell so you don't miss a beat.
You really need to watch the exhaust video with this car where we put everything on, because this thing rips. You've not really got to see that in this video. You're gonna wanna see how this thing sounds. It's nuts. Check out another video. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Save the manuals, baby.